Over 6,000 watches are stolen in London every year with an estimated street value of £30 million. So we've come to some of the poshest shops in Knightsbridge to find out what the Met are doing about it and how to keep you safe when you're wearing an expensive timepiece. If you want to know more, keep watching the video. As we know, watch theft in London is a massive issue. So I'm down in Knightsbridge to talk to Chief Inspector Luke Dillon. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, very good. How are you?
Right, I'm doing really well, thank you so much. Thank you for asking. As I said, watch theft's massive in London. What are the Met basically doing about it? And again, we've done videos where we don't have a crystal ball. There's 9 million people in London, 360,000 tourists per day. It's not possible for the Met to watch every single person coming out of shops like across the road. We've got Harrods down the road. So what are you doing about it?
So we know this is a really big problem, and it's something we're trying to, really get to grips with. We've got lots of tactics available to us. So we run sort of prevention operations. We have uniformed officers out trying to prevent these offences from taking place. We also run plainclothes operations. You've probably seen the videos. Plainclothes cops. One of them's wearing what looks like a really expensive watch. Somebody goes to rob them, and they get jumped on. We've had some pretty good success with that. We also run live facial recognition operations, and we've got on our teams, we've got super recognisers, who know who the faces are, the people that commit these offences, and we go after them like that. So if we see them out and about, we tackle them directly as well.
Brilliant. So what people don't know out there is there's a thing called Rolex rippers, and these are the people, so you can just put a Rolex on and walk out, yeah, you could get attacked. But these are people that can work in restaurants, they can be waiters, waitresses, they can work in taxis, all sorts of shops, designer clothes shops or anything like that. You'll walk in, they'll spot your watch, they'll also have someone outside that can follow you, and then before that, or after that, sorry, they'll do the robbery. So it's not just as simple as someone walking up to you on the street and saying, give me your watch, is it? This could have been planned for like 3 hours before you're actually going to get robbed.
Yeah, and people, the advice is be aware of your surroundings. So also we see people coming out of high-end, watch shops, and sometimes these people are plotted up watching who's coming out, seeing whether they've been in there long enough to buy a watch. So the advice is always to be aware of your surroundings. If something doesn't look quite right, just have a think about what else might be going on. And as you say, there's that distraction element as well, where somebody will come up, they'll do a stupid dance, they'll do something to distract you, they might stage a bit of theatre, something to get your attention, and whilst that's happening, your watch is disappearing off your wrist.
Exactly. So if you look behind us, there's shops like Breitling, Rolex, there's watches in Switzerland and all that sort of thing. People are coming out there with a bag saying Rolex on it. They're coming out there with a bag saying Cartier on it. If I wanted to go buy a £10,000 watch now, and I wanted to go in that shop, I don't have 10,000, I don't even have 10 quid. What advice would you give me now if I said I'm going to go in there and buy a £10,000 watch?
Use some common sense, maybe take a friend with you. When you come out, don't have that bag on show. Have a little look round, be aware of your surroundings. We're just trying to make this hard for the people who are committing these offences in as many ways as we can. We're relentless about pursuing them and dealing with them, and what we need is for people to just be aware of their surroundings, sensible with what they do. You wouldn't walk around with £10,000 in cash held out in front of you, even if you did have it. So just be thoughtful. As it starts to get warmer, people wear short sleeves, watches are all on show, common sense.
And it's nice to have a nice watch. People work hard and have a nice watch. And it's a massive affluent area, is this. I've already, coming down at train, there's a gentleman in front of me with a £20,000 watch on. His wife's got a £36,000 watch on, and they're wearing short sleeves. And it's just not having that little bit of something could happen to me. We're not asking people to walk around in fear. We're not asking people to feel they're going to be a victim. But some people just need to switch themselves on a little bit more, don't they?
That's definitely it. People should be able to enjoy the stuff that they've got, and they should be able to enjoy, London for what it is. They just need to apply a little bit of common sense.
And last bit I'm going to ask you now, if you're in a watch shop and you're not happy, or you see someone that you think suspicious, is it all right for them to ring 999 and say, I'm seeing this now? Is it down to the call taker to decide? They're not going to be wasting police time. What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. If you think you're being followed and somebody's trying to steal your stuff, and this applies more broadly than just watch theft, if you're worried about that, call us, let us make a decision based on the information you give us.
I'm here with Sergeant Ryan Purry from MO7 Task Force.
That's the one.
Right, so you deal with a lot of vehicle crimes, phone thefts and that sort of thing, but what about robberies as well?
Yeah, that's all part and parcel of our role. We're out there targeting the individuals that are intent on committing that sort of criminality.
We're in Knightsbridge now. You can see behind us we've got some massive high profile shops like Rolex, Breitling, that sort of thing. What's the advice you can give to tourists that are watching this now, that are going to come to the area about spending 10, 20, 30,000 pounds on a watch? A lot of people may do it, but would you recommend them walking out of the shop with a bag? What's your thoughts? Because let's be honest, London's got a lot of wealthy people in it, and you want them to keep the items that they've got.
So if you're going to buy a watch along the street, I would, or any expensive watch on any street, I'd be putting it in a rucksack, secure it away. I'd be going straight back to my hotel or Airbnb or wherever you're staying, get it locked away. As you leave the shop, I'd be looking over my shoulder, looking around, looking to see if anyone's paying attention to me, and just A to B as quickly as possible.
Because it's not about, we're not trying to install fear into people, but people need to know that there is this bad element of society out there that want what you've got. And it's been like that from when time began, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
People will always want what you've got, and it's whether it's the lazy and they can't be arsed, jealousy, whether it's pride or something like that. But a lot of people just don't want to work for it, and they see you as not obviously yourself, but see you as an easy target when you're walking around with a Rolex on.
Yeah, absolutely. And this area particularly attracts a lot of wealthy people, particularly during the summer months when, say for example, United Arab Emirates, it's scorching hot over there, 45, 50 degrees. So they come to the UK, bring their cars, bring their families, bring their expensive watches, and then some of them indeed will go home minus some watches.
Yeah. So what would you say now? I know what I'd do, being ex-police officer. You're obviously a sergeant in the task force. What's your advice to someone that's walking out the street now and someone comes up, give me your watch?
You've got a number of choices. You can run, best form of self-defense.
Yeah.
Go into a shop. If you choose to fight, there's often multiple assailants, so they'll be on top of you. They'll grab you. They may have weapons. You have to keep that in mind. Personally, I wouldn't relinquish a watch, an expensive watch, for that.
I wouldn't either.
No, absolutely.
You'd have to pull it off my dead wrists. I'm joking. I'm not joking.
But yeah, they go for easy targets a lot of the time.
Someone that won't fight back, or someone that looks like they're not going to put up a fight.
So the best method of prevention is don't wear it.
Right.
Keep it in your hotel. Keep it at home. If you do insist on wearing it, a long sleeve top. Don't walk around with it hanging.
Yeah. Because one of the things I saw not so long since social media, they picked on a very high profile boxer once, didn't they?
They did indeed.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're big, strong and that sort of thing. If they want to have it, they're going to have it, aren't they?
Yeah. If they've got his arms pinned, then he can't throw any punches.
So my advice to members of the public is, if it's insured, brilliant. But if it's not, you're taking that risk. But it's only a piece of property, it's not worth your life.
Yeah. That's correct.
So advice for people out there now want to come to London?
Come to London and leave your watches at home.
You've heard it here. Thank you so much, Sarge. Continue doing what you're doing. So I've just stopped this gentleman. This is Philippe from France.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Philippe.
Thank you very much.
Holding a Harrods bag. This is the prime kind of thing where people will be looking, they'll be scoping someone out and they think, right, there's something expensive in the Harrods bag, so they come, grab it and make off. Can I ask you one thing? When you do buy something, when you come out of a shop, do you look around? Are you aware that you might be getting followed? No. Will you be now?
I will be now.
Right, because
thanks to your advice, of course.
Because we've just mentioned the fact that obviously people look for watches, people look for bags, and it's just a matter of you going home safely. Is that okay? As you can see, that is our video done in London about watch theft. We're outside Rolex now, so if you've got an expensive timepiece on you, please keep it safe, don't put it on shore, and do not be a victim. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more videos.